Kia ora Year 9, this is today's maths lesson and it's on substituting into algebraic expressions. So if you're watching this from my Year 9 class, the worksheet that goes with this is up on Google Classroom, but it's a very simple worksheet. It's just from the beta textbook. And then I've done a harder worksheet with some extension questions as well. So substituting into algebraic expressions sounds hard, but it's really easy, and it's one of the most important things that we use algebra for. So if you're baking a cake and you have an American recipe book and it tells you that the cake has to be cooked at 375 degrees Fahrenheit, you need a way to turn that into Celsius for your New Zealand oven. Now we do that using algebra without realizing, right? So we have a formula, probably in the back of the textbook, in the back of the recipe book, unless you're my mum who just knows how to do this in her head because she's been doing it for years. So we use algebra when we're doing that. But to start us off, we're not going to do anything as interesting as recipe formulas. We're going to do some really, really simple examples. So the work for this has got two parts. There's an extension worksheet with some harder ones, and that's up on Google Classroom as well. But actually everyone has to do the basic stuff here because it's very easy to stuff it up. And what algebraic substitution comes back to is what we did in number, where we did BEDMAS, right? We had our little trapezium picture that went kind of like this. And you all had a cutout of that that sat in your maths books. So when we do substitution, we're going to take out the variables and replace them with numbers. So the other thing I like to think of it as is like substitution in football or in hockey, right? The variable comes off the field and the number goes in. So for this whole video, these are the numbers that I'm going to use, right? So A is 2, B is 7, C is -3, and so on. So you might want to write those down as we're going, because there are going to be lots of times in this vid where I get you to stop and try some questions yourself. So the first one we're going to do is 4a plus 5. So this is how we're going to set our substitutions out. We take the a and we're going to replace it by the number. But we know that 4a means 4 times a. So when we go to write it with the number, we have to pop those time signs back in everywhere. So 4a plus 5 is equal to 4 times 2 plus 5. And you can see now I'm back to a simple BEDMAS problem. The multiplication happens first, so I get 8 plus 5, and that gives me 13. Right, moving on. 3a minus 1. I'm going to do one more and then we'll give you a few to try. So 3a minus 1 will be 3 times 2 minus 1. See, I just took that a and I replaced it with the 2 and I wrote my time sign back in. So that's 6 minus 1, which equals 5. Now some of you, I can hear you groaning out there from your houses, will be going, do we really have to write this line out here? No, you don't. But lines that I really want you to write out, so you always write your question out, and then write the line out that shows me your substitution. For simple ones, like this one here, you write that line out, and then you can go 6, take away 1 in your head, equals 5. But usually, they're not going to be that easy. So you have to write the answer, and I would like you to write that line, but I know that I'm dreaming. Okay, let's do a few more. I'm going to put those 3 up on the screen, pause the video, and just have a go at those next ones. And now I'm going to go through them. So 4h minus 7a equals 4 times 4 minus 7 times 2. 16 minus 14, which gives me 2. G squared plus 3. Right, so G is, what's G? G is 3. 3 squared plus 3. See, I've just taken the letter and I've substituted the number. So following order of operations, the first thing I do here is do the exponent calculation, 9 plus 3, which equals 12. Right, here are the next few. Pause the video and try these ones. So AB plus A. A is 2 and B is 7. So 2 times 7 plus 2 equals 14 plus 2, which gives me 16. In this next one, I've got some brackets. So I have to remember that that means A times B plus 1. So A is 2, so it's 2 times, what have we got for B? B is 7, 7 plus 1. So I work out what's in the brackets first, so it's 2 times 8, which gives me 16. Moving on to these next ones. Negative 5g minus 2. So it's negative 5 times 3 minus 2. A negative times a positive is a negative. So it's negative 15 minus 2, which is negative 17. And here are the next ones. Remember, we have to put the time signs back in. Okay, so E, what did I make E? E, I think E was also 2. Was E 2 as well? Let's go back up to the check. Ah, there is no E. Okay, I'm going to make up E now. So we're going to say that E is equal to 2. I know that A is equal to 2, but E can be 2 as well. So E is equal to 2, so we replace E with 2, and then H is equal to 4. So we get this. Now just remember, it's very easy to forget, especially when you're just starting out, that there's a time sign in here. So it's 2 times negative 2, which gives me negative 4. In this one here, we've got brackets and we've got something squared, but we just start off by doing the substitution first. So G is 3, 3 minus 4 squared. So that's negative 1 squared, and we know that that's negative 1 times negative 1. So a negative times a negative gives me a positive. Sorry, the pen's not working very well this morning. I'm not sure why. There we go. So there's that one. Now I've just got a few left. I know this video is getting a bit long already, and I'm running out of space. So I'm going to just hop this one over to here. So negative 6h plus 2 is negative 6 times 4 plus 2. Now we're applying our BEDMAS rules, remember? So we do the multiplication first. Negative 24 plus 2, which is negative 22. Right, the next two have got fraction lines in them, because as you know from yesterday, that's what we use when we're working with algebra. So you can think about there being invisible brackets around the top and around the bottom, and that helps quite a lot. I'm just going to erase this. So we substitute in our values just as we did before. So G is 3, so it's 3 times 3 plus 1 divided by M. Now M was 5. So that gives me 10 divided by 5, right? So I'm thinking about that as having a bracket around it. And that's why I work out 3 3s are 9 plus 1 gives me 10. And finally I do my division. I'll just write that there, equals 2. Next one. 7h plus 3. We've got 3 left to go, guys, and then you'll be off to do the worksheet. So 7h plus 3. H is 4, so 7 times 4 plus 3 divided by h, 4, plus 1. What does that give us? Well, in the top line, we get 28 plus 3. And here we've got 5. So that's 31 over 5. So a bit of fractions practice chucked in. I can leave it like that, or I could write it as a mixed number, and it would be 6 and 1/5. I like that one better. Now the last two questions are just to make sure you've really got your order of operations down. So 30 over c plus g is equal to 30 over 3 plus 3. So in here, this is division. So we do this next, before we do the addition. And we've got 10 plus 3, which is 13. In this one here, we have 30 plus 3 divided by 3. And this has got an invisible bracket around the top line. Right? So it's all being divided by 3. So that one equals 33 over 3, which equals 11. So there you go. There's a little introduction to substitution. So off you go when you're ready and do the worksheet. Now I've asked you today to take a photo of the work that you do and to upload it to Google Classroom for me. You don't have to do that at maths time though. You can do that any time today, and it's just for me to get a check-in on how you're going. Honestly, it's also to give you a break from Education Perfect, because I know that staring at that all day is not exactly fun. So well done, guys, for most of you who put in a really good effort this week. Please get in touch by email if you need to, and if you're having real trouble with this, I can do a Zoom or a little live stream with just a small group of you. So thanks for watching, and looking forward to seeing all your uploads of what maths you get done today. Have a good day.